Should we just have a conversation in Dutch?
Yeah. Where are you driving to?
Okay, I got the gloves, I got the protective gear.
Well, these bees are hatching a new queen.
Hey guys, my journey in the US continues, and in this episode we'll visit an Amish family. You may already know that the Amish are a group of traditionalist Christian church fellowships that I know.
What if I told you a quiet traditional community, known for rejecting the modern world, has become a secret weapon in one of the most critical battleground states for the 2024 election? That's right, the Amish of Pennsylvania, who have long avoided politics, are now throwing their support behind none other than Donald Trump.
I'm wearing Amish clothing in a horse and buggy in intercourse.
This unexpected twist shook up the entire race in ways no one saw coming. In this video, we'll dive deep into why the Amish, a group that prefers horse-drawn buggies over modern cars and simplicity over excess, aligned with Trump.
We ain't the same on the game. Hey, Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not, keep the energy you had with Barack, cause you know this Trump train don't stop.
You don't want to miss this fascinating journey through history, faith, and politics. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates on this evolving story. Let's get into it. To understand why the Amish support for Trump is so shocking, you first need to know who the Amish are.
What kinds of tools?
8 o'clock in the morning, we go for lunch at 11:30, then we come back about 1, then we work about 6. Yeah.
And 5 days for a week?
Yeah, 6. Yeah, 5 days a week. That's right. Yeah. 5 days.
Yeah.
Imagine a life without smartphones, internet, or even electricity. A life focused solely on family, faith, and farming. The Amish have preserved this way of life for centuries, especially in Pennsylvania, where they've built thriving communities since the 1700s. They fled Europe, escaping religious persecution, and found refuge here in America under the promise of freedom to live as they choose. Their entire belief system centers around simplicity, humility, and a strong aversion to modern government interference. For generations, their motto has been simple: leave us alone, and we leave you alone. So why now? Why would a group that's always avoided politics suddenly rally behind Donald Trump of all people? The Amish settled in Pennsylvania because it was a sanctuary for their faith, a place where they could live according to their own rules. But recently, they've felt this sanctuary has been violated.
Is there anything about Kamala Harris that you don't like what she's doing, or Joe Biden, the people that are currently running the country? Is there things about what they're doing that you don't like?
Yeah, they're involved with the deep state.
They are involved with the deep state. You're right about that.
State regulations have piled up, threatening their traditional lifestyle and making it harder for them to practice their centuries-old customs. Take, for instance, the crackdown on raw milk. For the Amish, selling raw milk isn't just a business, it's a tradition passed down through generations.
As has been discussed a lot in the news lately, raw milk is hated by the public health bureaucrats, but it's loved by freedom-minded, health-conscious people everywhere. It's not a coincidence that for many of the producers targeted for raw milk, harassment over the last decade, that many of—
Yet Pennsylvania's government has tightened regulations, hitting Amish farmers like Amos Miller with harsh penalties simply for doing what their ancestors have done for centuries. To the Amish, these rules aren't just laws, they're intrusions, assaults on their very way of life. It's in this growing tension between the Amish and the state government that Donald Trump's appeal starts to make sense. Now, you might be wondering, how does a billionaire businessman from New York City become the champion of a quiet rural community that doesn't even use electricity? The answer lies in one word: freedom.
The thing, because I looked at it, I was like, okay, so the Amish are coming out to vote this time, which you don't think of the Amish as, they like to keep to themselves. That's their whole jam. But the Amish decided to come out and vote for Trump because the Biden administration, and this is so wild.
For the Amish, Trump represents a bulwark against the very government overreach they feel is choking their way of life. They see him as someone who isn't afraid to push back against big government, a figure who talks openly about dismantling bureaucracy and returning power to the people.
That's amazing.
Had anyone ever gotten the Amish out to vote before?
Not in significant numbers, but the Democrats did make a mistake because there was government overreach, and with some of the Amish farmers.
Yes.
There's no such thing as like organic farming or not organic. They're farmers. They've been.
It's ironic, isn't it? The man who built golden skyscrapers and casinos is now seen as the protector of plain living. Yet Trump's outspoken stance against the very regulations that have targeted Amish farmers has resonated deeply within these communities.
Welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
One Amish man put it simply: "We don't care about his wealth or his personality. We care that he stands up against the people who keep trying to change our way of life." Historically, the Amish avoided voting. Participating in politics was seen as meddling in the worldly affairs they wanted to stay clear of. But in recent years, that attitude has begun to shift. More and more Amish are realizing that if they don't make their voices heard, they could lose the very freedoms they came to America for.
We've been spending most our lives living in an Amish paradise. I churn butter once or twice, living in an Amish paradise. It's hard work and sacrifice, living in an Amish paradise.
This isn't just a small group either. Pennsylvania has roughly 9,200 Amish residents with around 800 eligible voters. In a swing state where the margins are razor thin, even a fraction of these votes could tip the scales.
Yeah, exactly, TJ. I'm standing off of New Holland Pike in East Lampeter Township, and I want you to take a look at this sign behind me here. It's not hard to miss at all. Now, this is just one of several ways that Republicans have tried to appeal to Amish voters, especially right here in Lancaster County. Now, Pennsylvania Director of Early...
Republican organizers quickly noticed this shift. They started holding discreet meetings with Amish leaders, setting up ride shares to polling stations, and crafting messages that align perfectly with Amish values: family, faith, and freedom from government interference.
Number one, how does it feel to be a Kennedy helping Donald Trump return to the White House? And have you talked to any of your family?
Well, I had a lot of family here. So there was a lot of family that worked on the campaign, and they were here. So we had about 18 people here at the moment.
It's a quiet, almost underground movement, but make no mistake, it's powerful. And that's what happened, right under our noses. But there's another twist to this story. The Amish have also found a surprising ally in Robert Kennedy Jr., who has long stood up for the right to practice traditional farming methods without interference. Kennedy's vocal stance against food regulations has endeared him to the Amish, and his alliance with Trump has only strengthened their resolve. For the Amish, this isn't about Republican or Democrat. It's about who will protect their lifestyle and traditions. It's about standing behind someone who promises to fight the battles they can't fight alone. Trump, with his brash defiance of the establishment, has become their unlikely hero. So, what does this mean for the 2024 election? Pennsylvania is a crucial swing state. In 2020, Trump lost here by just 8,1,0,0,0 votes. With a powerful motivation and influx of Amish voters, this was a hidden factor that shifts the outcome in Trump's favor.
I want to talk to you about why I'm psyched out of my mind out of Pennsylvania. Real quick, because I got 3 minutes. Joe Biden won Pennsylvania by 80,000 votes. There are 80,000 Amish in Pennsylvania, and I want you to know we are courting the Amish vote.
It's a political wild card no one saw coming, one that turned the tide in one of the most hotly contested races of our lifetime. The Amish have gone from a quiet, apolitical group to a potential kingmaker in this election. And it's all happening because they feel their very way of life is under threat.
Bender almost by default.
I'm about an hour's drive away from that rally here in one of Pennsylvania's old Amish Anabaptist communities. These people don't like money.
The story of the Amish support for Trump is more than just a political twist. It's a reflection of a deeper battle over American values, tradition, and freedom. The Amish aren't voting for Trump because they love his personality. They're voting for him because they believe he's the only one who will stand up to the government and defend their way of life. Oh, what do you think? Can the Amish vote really make a difference in Pennsylvania? Is their support for Trump a sign of a broader political shift or just a small bump in the numbers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story as fascinating as we did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. We've got more deep dives like this coming up as the election heats up, so stay tuned.